But we as a continent have now defined ourselves. In the news, issues of marginalization will be addressed if an Igbo president is picked, coming from Ngige. And 3 members of Al-Shabaab group listed for sanctions. By 2025, Africa could add $15 billion from women's input in digital sales, coming from the IFC report. And pilot had no choice but to land in Minsk, says Ryanair boss. Details coming up shortly. This is TOS Television, your digital first Pan-African news network. I am Merciful Ajinomo, and you're watching TOS News 360. The chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, Abdulrashid Bawa, has revealed that he receives death threats on a daily basis. He said this on Tuesday in an interview with a TV station. Speaking on President Muhammadu Buhari's frequent assertion that corruption is fighting back and attesting to it, the EFCC chairman explained that he was in New York, USA last week when he received the threat call. Bawa stressed there were many loopholes in the civil service, mostly in contract processing. He added that the EFCC has strategies kept in place to check corruptions. In the build-up to 2023 presidential elections, if the Igbos are allowed to produce the next president in the country, the current issues of marginalization in the southeastern region in Nigeria will be addressed, says Dr. Chris Ngege, Minister of Labour and Employment. Speaking with a sister media house, Ngege states that what suits the current situation is the 1995 constitution by the late General Sani Abacha. The Abacha Constitution of 1995 espouses rotational presidency into the 6 zones in Nigeria and single 5-year tenure. Following the reluctance of the National Assembly to pass the reviewed electoral bill, civil society organizations have continued to mount pressure on the Senate to fulfill its promise to Nigerians. In an electoral reform summit organized by Ready to Lead Africa, in collaboration with other stakeholders, they stressed the importance of the amended bill and its passage to upcoming elections and the nation's democracy in general.
This is 2021. That bill has still not been passed. And that is despite all the advocacy campaigns that we've done, marching on the National Assembly, marching across the 36 states of Nigeria, visiting constituency offices of senators and House of Rep members in their local communities, just because we want to, show that Nigerians are interested in credible elections.
I think we should be quite honest with ourselves that we have a long way to go for Nigeria to become a real democracy. At this point, it is what I would call a ritualistic democracy. It's more of a selectocracy. We have a ritual every 4 years. There are elections, yes. It's no longer the military in power, yes. So we have a civilian government. That's no question about that. But do we have a democratic government? That's what we should be questioning ourselves on. And that begins with the electoral process. And that's one of the things we're here to talk about.
Do we have democracy in Nigeria? What I say all the time is that we have a civilian regime. As part of government, am I supposed to speak as it is? Yes, because we want to change. We're talking about electoral reforms. I think we need to reform ourselves first. All the shenanigans in politics are not carried out by the people in power right now. They're by yourselves, the youths. It might be painful to hear.
They, however, called for a change in the attitude of Nigerians if they expect tangible change from the system.
I think we all need to be politicians because I'm sick and tired of people saying, leave politics for politicians or those politicians. They're human beings. They don't have 2 heads. I think ahead of 2023, we must play this politics. And I'm not saying we all cannot run. Some of us, we don't want to run. We're happy to continue to lead a civic movement, But I think when we see someone that wants to run and we believe in that person's ideal, if you don't have anything, give him 100 naira. Or bring one idea or support his campaign as a volunteer. It would go a long way. But as young people, let's play this politics. Let's play it. And I believe we'll play it better than these current people. We'll bring innovation, we'll bring technology. So let's play it. Now one time person they die now. So we'll play it.
When you mobilize people, mobilization is not done 1 year to the election. Mobilization starts even before the previous election ends. So when you do that, if you give ourselves a target that in all the states of the Federation, we will at least have at least 300,000 young people vote, not register, vote on election day. I'm horrible with maths, but I know that is in the neighborhood of 12 to 15 million. And the difference between the votes in this country is always between 2 million to 5 million. That simply means that young people can decide who is the president of Nigeria in 2023. And I think it is absolutely possible for you to.
On Nigeria's Twitter ban, the federal government of Nigeria says that Twitter and its founder, Jack Dorsey, are to blame for the losses the country suffered during the EndSARS protest. The Minister of Information and Culture, Lai Mohammed, who made the allegation on Tuesday, alleges that Dorsey raised funds through bitcoins to sponsor the EndSARS protest and also launched an emoji to make the EndSARS protest visible on Twitter. The minister says Dorsey retweeting some of the posts by some coalition groups supporting the EndSARS protest confirmed that he was in support of the movement. Away from Nigeria to development across Africa, a military court in Uganda on Monday released 18 supporters of opposition leader Bobi Wine on bail. Their release comes after 17 activists from a group of 35 who were arrested in December 2020 for flouting COVID-19 rules by gathering were released in May. The lawyer of the detained supporters, George Musisi, and they spent 6 months in jail over charges that were simply punishment for supporting the opposition. This is your digital first Pan-African news network, TOS Television, and you are watching TOS News 360. More stories on Africa, the global scene, business and sports when we return. Do stay with us. Thanks for staying. 3 members of the Al-Shabaab armed group have been listed for sanctions during the reporting period to further help the federal government of Somalia fight the insurgent, the chair of the Security Council's sanction regime for the country said on Monday. Permanent representative of Ireland to the United Nations and chair of the Security Council Committee pursuant to Resolution 751 concerning Somalia says an updated sanctions list can be a significant tool in supporting the federal government of Somalia in its fight against Al-Shabaab. On the global scene, Ryan Air boss Michael O'Leary says the pilot of a flight that was diverted to Belarus had no choice but to land in Minsk over a bomb on board detonation warning. Journalist Roman Protasevich and his girlfriend Sofia Sapega were arrested after the plane landed in Belarus capital Minsk. Both remain in prison. Protasevich was put on Belarus's list of individuals involved in terrorist activity last year for causing mass unrest. In business, the International Finance Corporation report says Africa could add nearly $15 billion to the value of its total e-commerce business by 2030 if women on the continent match their sales on digital platforms to that of their male counterparts by 2025. The report covered studies on women in Kenya, Nigeria, and Cote d'Ivoire. The World Bank found that sector switching is an important path for women to close earnings gaps, suggesting that high earning categories on e-commerce can boost performance for women entrepreneurs in the long term. The Central Bank of Nigeria has agreed in principle to mint the Gambian dalasi. The CBN Governor Godwin Emefiele, who agreed to the currency minting proposal presented by Boa Saidi, the governor of the central bank on Tuesday, says Nigeria is fully capacitated when it comes to currency printing. Saidi says the Gambia is running very low on currency and wants to learn how to manage their currency need by leveraging Nigeria's wealth of knowledge and experience. And to sport, returning Libya coach Javier Clemente has said he is satisfied with the level of its Libya players despite losing 1-0 to Liberia on Monday. The 71-year-old Spanish coach officially began his second stint in charge of the Mediterranean Knights on Sunday after leading them between 2013 and 2016. A win in Arab Cup qualifier between Sudan and Libya on June 19 will see Libya progress to the finals in November and December in Doha, Qatar. And that is TOS News 360 on your digital first Pan-African news network. For more updates, visit www.tostvnetwork.com. Do follow and like our social media handles on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. And remember to subscribe on YouTube. Do stay with us and enjoy more programs on the network. I am Merciful Ajinamo. Many thanks for watching.